13 seconds to go. We'll see if Bowman's just holds on to it. Nice baseball passes far side. Van Lente for three off the mark. Out of bounds and 3.9 seconds to go, and Unity will have the final shot. Sodsma saying, hey, pay attention to the clock. Get down there. We saw a nice full court pass last time around. See another one here. Great look. Thompson, 1 second to go. Throws it up at the buzzer. Yes!
Just the way you draw it up, right?
Sam Thompson, the junior from downtown, and puts the exclamation point on what has been a dominant first half by Unity Christian. Goodwin kicks it out to Ashbaugh. Ashbaugh kicks it out to Jaylee Long. Contested three. Yes! And it's a one-possession game for the Golden Eagle.
Make them respect you from distance. That's when the inside starts to open up. That's when you see sunlight for this Cornerstone team.
Guernsey bounces it. How quickly is Aquinas? They go down low. Gregoire against Schur, and no good. Chance to tie or take the lead here for the Golden Eagles. Bounces it to Ashbaugh. She lays it up and one. The freshman from Grant, Michigan. Unstoppable here in the second quarter, and a chance to give the Golden Eagles a lead.
Because you get the jump ball arrow if you come away with that. Those are the scrappy extra plays that CU needs down the stretch.
Ball poked away. Costin comes up with it. 2-on-1 opportunity. Bounces it to Goodwin. Back to Costin. Good! Woo!
And AQ is going to be so focused on really decluttering that key tonight against Cornerstone. Get the bigs out of the key, spread everyone out, and then attack them back door.
Kubik from half court, and she sinks it. And a 4-2 lead now. Welcome back here on the Huddle Sports Network as we're getting ready here for the second half. 25-12 lead for the Unity Christian Crusaders over the Byron Center Bulldogs. And we'll see what this Byron Center team has in store, as they had an even worse second quarter than they did in the first quarter.
They did. Unity Christian outscored that. Well, Unity Christian outscored 11-7 in the first, and then 14-5 in the second. That's where we sit right now at 25-12.
So Bont will kick it out to Hinkle on the far side, step back, and then he'll pass it off. Goes down inside, gets it poked away, and the first turnover of the half to Byron Center. Now Burgess will bounce it.
Oh, good block there.
Vancouvering, who couldn't get it to go. So great defensive possession there. Bont will toss it off, and he'll lay it off the glass. Bowman getting the scoring going here for the Bulldogs, and it makes it 11-point lead now for Unity.
Jaden Bowman with his first two, so that's a good start for the Bulldogs.
Burgess from the top of the key stops. He'll kick it out to Vancouvering. Back out to Burgess. Back to Vancouvering. Trying to look to go down low, but couldn't get the space.
Conrad's really sinking down low and helping out Bauman there.
Vancouvering, Vanderwall turns over the wall. Lee quickly now to Conrad. Conrad, ball get tipped away, and there'll be a couple of free throws coming towards Byron Center's way, and a good first minute of play here for the Bulldogs.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they came out, got a hoop, got a stop, and now you're at the line with the best way to knock down a score is at the free throw line when the clock's not running.
First one for Conrad, sinks it, and if Byron Center can find a way to draw fouls going to the rim and get to that charity stripe, it could be one key to get back into this game. As he sinks, he goes 2 for 2, and now it's a 9-point lead for the Crusaders. Here comes Burgess as he kicks it out to the near side. Vancouvering. Overhead pass down low. Here is Vanderwall. Now Schurd. And a wide open Vanderwall. He'll stop, kicks it out to Schurd. Schurd, step back, kicks it down inside. Vanderwall pushing his way in with his left shoulder and gets it poked away. 3 turnovers now for Unity. Now Lee quickly and lays it off the glass. A 6-0 run here to open up for Byron Center.
We'll see. Scott Solomon likes to save his timeouts. He likes to have his kids play through situations like this. And I got to believe if Byron gets a stop another
the 3, no good.
I think if Byron scores here, you're going to get a timeout.
Yeah, wide open drive to the rim and good. Now it's just a 5-point lead for Unity and a timeout. And what a start by these Bulldogs. Exactly what they needed.
8-0 start, cut that lead from 25 to 20. And Unity, like you mentioned, not helping them cause with 3 turnovers right off the bat.
It'll be interesting to see what Unity tightens up here coming out of the timeout. And it's also, I'd like to see if Byron Center can keep it rolling. I mean, I know it's always tough to come out of timeouts. It feels like typically you call a timeout, you kill your runs. But we'll see if Byron Center can keep it going. 25-20 lead, 5:54 remaining here in the third quarter. And there'll be 4 timeouts remaining for both sides here. In front of this packed crowd here on this Tuesday evening.
Yeah, good turnout tonight. Tuesdays are generally not your biggest nights. Obviously, Fridays are. But when you got 2 pretty skilled teams with some pretty good records, people are going to come out and see it.
It's a top 15 matchup tonight, so. And really, it hasn't looked like a top 15 matchup up to this point, but maybe Byron Center trying to change that now. As Burgess will bounce it to Sherd, and they'll go inside to Kamiga. Kamiga trying to spin his way, looking for help. And maybe a miscommunication. Boy. Now Lee wide open to the rack, and he lays it in. 25-22, and Unity's going to have to figure it out on the fly as Burgess will bring it up the court. Kamiga at the top of the key, probing around, trying to spin his way out of it. Gets it off to Vancouver, down to Kamiga. Kamiga spins around, puts it up, no good. And this great start for Byron Center continues. Wide open, but he mishandles the ball, pushing his way through to the rack, and no good. Looking for the foul. He's not going to get it. Burgess, that was just clean defense there for Unity. Kamiga now.
Unity really needs a hoop.
Vanderwall, another turnover. Hinkle to the rack, lays it up, and rolls it in. 25-24, and Byron Center is a point away from taking their first lead since the early moments of this game.
5-4 was the last time they were up.
Man, oh man, what a collapse here to start this second half by Unity.
Well, Byron scored as many points in the first 3.5 minutes of this quarter than they did the entire first half.
Feels like they have turned it over every time they've touched the ball here. And a deep 3 to take the lead. No good. And if I'm Bot, I think I'd probably take a couple steps forward before I take that.
He likes that long one.
Respond 3, no good.
And Byron has really done a nice job on the defensive glass now, Jackson. They've really, really limited Unity to one and done. Kind of the same thing Unity did to Byron in the first half.
Keen Hinkle going to try to set this one up, trying to give Byron Center their first lead since the early moments. Step back 3 from Hinkle, good! And Byron Center continues their hot start to the second half as they have a 27-25 lead here in the third quarter.
Wow. Fire struck quickly.
Man, oh man, we were wondering how they were going to respond, and this is a completely different Byron Center team than what we just saw in the first half.
We've seen you're exactly right. You're 424 in, and that's a totally different team. The last 424 versus the first 16.
Unity trying to take back the lead or at least tie it here.
They need something. A garbage hoop, a good hoop, and another turnover.
Oh, continues.
14.
So a chance to make it a 2-possession lead here for Byron Center. Hinkle drives in with his right hand, goes behind the back and puts it up and good. 29-25.
10 for Hinkle.
Unity has gone missing here to start the second half. Burgess driving in, bounces it out to Sherd. Sherd to Burgess. Down low, trying to find a way. Chapman kicks it out to the top of the key. Burgess for three and good.
Huge three by Sherd. Boy, did Unity Christian need that, Jackson.
Oh, man, it has felt like a long time since they have last scored a bucket.
Well, that's their first one in almost 6 minutes.
So Bont trying to keep pace now. Don't want to let Unity sneak back into it if you're Bayard Center. Bont guiding this offense. And they're going to call a foul there on Cody Walters.
"30-second timeout for Byron Center."
Man, oh man, 29-28 lead for Bayard Center, and they came storming all the way back.
Well, this is what we're hoping for, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, the game was not a game at halftime. You got two pretty skilled teams. You want to see a close one coming down in the, last quarter. It looks like right now it's going to be. But Byron Center coming out 17-3 run to start the second half. Wow.
That is quite the run, and those are the runs that you need if you want to try to come back against a team like Unity.
You are exactly right.
And so we'll see if they can keep it up. We'll see if Unity can snap this run. They're going out with a little bit of a different look. A lot of their starters that we saw in the first half not getting it done, so you got to switch things up.
Yeah, Caminga had 10 at halftime. I don't even took a shot that quarter, this quarter so far.
2:15 remaining here in the third quarter. 29-28 lead for the Bulldogs. Bont will drive in his left hand, kicks it out, and it gets poked away. Now quick transition here for Unity, and he finds a wall at about half court.
Wow.
Landon Conrad has been very physical tonight. Trying to set the tone, but maybe not in the right way. In the way of the Bulldogs. Trying to find a way, goes down low, finds Chapman, and he trips up trying to go to the rack, but he's going to get a couple.
Yeah. He probably got fouled right when he got the pass. The referee let that one go, and he went up to dunk it and lost control because he got fouled.
So a chance to tie and take the lead here. First one for Chapman is good, so 29-29 game here with 1:53.
The senior with his first points of the game, surprisingly.
See if Chapman can give the Crusaders back their lead. He cannot, but a second chance now. Landstra looks like he is panicking a little bit. A three, and it bounces away. This will remain a tie ball game. Hinkle quickly across half court now for the Bulldogs. Hinkle goes behind the back, trying to find some space, and Hinkle is going to get the foul on Unity.
Yeah, Hinkle's quick, and he's got some good stutter steps, and he kind of got Burgess a little bit crossed up there.
Hinkle, the team leader in points here tonight so far, 10. And he's been doing a nice job.
Oh, good
Finds
back.
a nice cut to the basket, trying to finish through. Cannot, but he'll get a couple. And Jaden Bowman is quietly, becoming more of an impact player as this game goes on.
He is. In the whole Byron Center team, at halftime, Byron only had 3 people scored. And Bowman now looking for his 5th. Hinkle stepped it up, and Isaac Lee as well this quarter.
Bowman on that free throw almost looked like the ball kind of jumped out of his hands as he came up with it. We'll see if he can maybe slow down his motion a little bit and just follow through and see if he can give Byron Center the lead back. That time it's good. Looked a lot more relaxed on that second shot. So 30-29, a minute 27 remaining here in the third quarter. It's shaping out to be a pretty solid game here. Kaminga, top of the key, bounces it down low to Walters out to Sherd. Sherd spinning his way through, finds Kaminga. He'll spin his way, dishes it up to Vancouvering, who lays it off the glass.
TJ Vancouvering saw that play way up high on the wing. He already had started making his cut before even Camigo was going with him to the ball.
So Bont, with about 52 seconds left, down 1, trying to find the right play. Lee spinning his way through, almost had a lane had he kept control of it. Now quickly, here's Vancouvering, loses the ball. Oh, he missed it, but tossed it off to Chapman, and he cashes in.
That's always a good outlet. Have your 6'7" guy coming down the middle.
Yeah, and Vancouvering, really, he was open himself, too.
I think he was surprised he was that wide open. Didn't shoot it, though.
It's all right to pass it up. 20 seconds remaining. We'll see if they hold out for the final shot, maybe tie it going into the fourth quarter. That'd be quite the momentum shift if you're buying center. Lee on the near side, out to Bont. Under 10 seconds to go. 5 seconds. Bont drives in with his left hand, throws it up, and he's going to get the charge.
Yeah, the Byron Center fans and the bench doesn't like that call, but I thought Camigo was playing it pretty hard there.
2.3 seconds left. We'll see if Unity can maybe get a good look here for one last heave. But Byron Center, it'll be interesting to see if they run out of gas entering that fourth quarter.
Yeah, you get that far down.
Nice heave. They put it up at the buzzer, and no good.
Camigo probably could have taken another dribble, but boy, that would have been a huge 2 for Unity.
I mean, that was a good inbound pass, and if you're Camigo, yeah, you probably were a little surprised at how wide open you were.
Well, Unity Christian, after having a disastrous start, kind of salvaged a little bit out of that as they were down and they scored 8 points after not scoring in the first almost 6 minutes of that game. So to take a 33-30 lead going in the fourth.
Yeah, 17-3 run. Got Byron Center right back into this, and we'll see if they have ran out of gas. We're going to take a quick break ourselves, catch our breath after that exciting third quarter. We'll come back for the final 8 minutes of this ball game. 33-30 lead for Unity. You're watching the Huddle Sports Network. Michigan versus Michigan State. Grand Valley State versus Ferris State. Hope versus Calvin. The state of Michigan is filled with great interstate rivalries on every level of college sports, and tonight's matchup is no different as the 20-7 Aquinas Saints versus the 14-12 Cornerstone Golden Eagles take on in a head-to-head matchup here tonight in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. Jackson Hyden with you alongside of me, Nate Wangler, as we prepare you for another instant classic here on this Wednesday evening. And Nate, both teams tonight come in hot. Aquinas on a 12-game winning streak. Cornerstone on a 6-game winning streak.
You don't need a whole lot of inspiration when it comes to playing the other, right? If you're from Aquinas, you really want to beat Cornerstone. There's really no rhyme or reason. Well, there is. I mean, proximity is the biggest thing. You want to beat AQ. If you're on the other side, if you're AQ, you want to beat CU. Again, there's not a whole lot of reasoning that goes into that. Close proximity, these two teams just don't like each other. But when you talk about this game here today, there are a few more layers to that onion, if you will. When you talk about WAC standings, this is an opportunity for Aquinas College, if they win this game, to keep themselves in position to maybe get a WAC regular season crown. On the other side, for Cornerstone, this is a huge matchup because they're just a step behind Aquinas College. Not only that, they lost by just 2 points last time against AQ. So the outlook of this season as we wind our way towards the end, and keep in mind, this is the last game for Aquinas College. They want to finish on a high note. There are a whole lot of implications coming into this game, so that only adds to that intensity that you were just mentioning.
Yeah, and a home court advantage game for the first round of the conference tournament is on the line if Cornerstone wins one of these last 2 games. Let's dive into some of the head-to-head matchups between these both squads. For Cornerstone, one thing that sticks out to me a lot is 3 scorers on their team are all averaging double-digit points. And on the flip side, Claire Gregoire is the only double-digit scorer for Aquinas. And it's gonna be an interesting mix tonight.
Well, the thing is, Cornerstone can score the basketball. Where, in my mind, this game really tilts, where it's going to be decided, isn't necessarily the scoring, because I think both teams have good scoring options. Cornerstone is really tracked up in terms of their three-point shooting. but it's going to be defense number one because Aquinas has held their opponents to the lowest shooting percentage across the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference, so they're good. They play straight up. The other thing is the physical battle down low. I don't know if you've seen the rebounding totals for Aquinas College, over 45 rebounds, and it makes sense when you think about their head coach and Brian Morris. He was at Davenport when they were world beaters. They only lost 11 games in the entire time he was at DU, and a lot of it is because he did the fundamentals right. They rebounded well. They passed the ball well. Aquinas does all of those things and then some. You mentioned Claire Gregoire. Not only can she score, she can rebound in bunches too. So she can do a little bit of all of that. That's why they win games. And so for Cornerstone, you got to play with an edge tonight because you have to win the physical battle to win this game.
Yeah, Gregoire averaging a double-double right now in terms of rebounds and points. And for Cornerstone, they're really going to have to hustle to get back on the other side. I think that's one of their biggest weaknesses. Well, we're just moments away from tip-off here at Mole Arena. We'll have lineups as well as that first tip-off here up in a few moments. You're watching Cornerstone Women's Basketball here on the Cornerstone Sports Network.